8 NFL stars who went downhill fast over the years. Hey guys, welcome back to Sports Crazies. Today we'll talk about 8 NFL stars who went downhill fast over the years. Let's head into it. Number 8. Luther Ellis. Defensive lineman Luther Ellis made at least $11 million during his 1995 to 2003 career with the Detroit Lions. But the two-time Pro Bowler fell on hard times after he left the NFL, ending up in bankruptcy court in 2010. Ellis said he received financial education from his team and the league, but admitted he ignored the advice and made bad choices, including overspending and poor investments, which caused his fortune to go up in smoke. Eventually, Ellis, who was known for his charitable endeavors as a player, had to turn to local churches for help, paying his bills, and feeding his family of 11 children. The Lions did a good job. They put on financial programs that we had to attend, talking about investing and saving money, give statistics on how many of us would be broke. Ellis told the Associated Press in 2010, "Guys were saying, it's not going to be me. I'm too smart for that, and here I am, one of those guys." Number 7. Warren Sapp. The number 12 overall pick in the 1995 NFL Draft, Sapp achieved success almost instantly upon stepping foot in the NFL, a 7-time Pro Bowl selection from 1997 to 2003 and a member of the NFL's All-Decades team for the 1990s. Sapp tore through opponents during a 13-year career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Oakland Raiders. Defensive lineman Warren Sapp spent 12 years in the NFL, earning more than $82 million over the course of his career, but a bad real estate deal, alimony, and child support payments totaling $74,495 a month and a lavish lifestyle all contributed to a bankruptcy filing in 2012, 5 years after he retired. Sapp claimed he couldn't even pay his $6.7 million debt, even though he was still earning $115,881 every month as an analyst for the NFL Network and in appearance fees. Sapp's problems didn't end with his bankruptcy filing. He ran into trouble with the law, and the NFL Network fired him from his gig in 2015. And his ex-wife, she claims he still owes her $3 million. Yikes. Number 6. Vince Young.
Young in the pocket. Young throws and complete. Nate Washington.
When Young broke the USC Trojans' heart in the 2006 Rose Bowl and was later selected by the Tennessee Titans with the number 3 pick in the 2006 NFL Draft, many thought he'd make NFL history. Instead, he became one of the biggest NFL draft busts of all time, and financial ruin soon followed. Young signed a $25.74 million contract before taking the field and earned more than $40 million, including endorsements, throughout his short career. As he detailed to Sports Illustrated, though, he filed for bankruptcy in 2014. He tried to salvage his career, but the damage was already done, with spending with less than $1 million in assets and even further in debt. Between his poor spending habits and a shady advisor, Young's money is now gone. Number 5. Bernie Kosar. A first-round pick in the 1985 supplemental draft, Kosar became a part of Cleveland Browns NFL history. Meanwhile, he got to live out his dream by playing near his family in Ohio and became one of the richest players in his era. Unfortunately, as many professional athletes have learned, friends and family members will take advantage of their wealth. Between multiple investments that backfired, his father swindling millions from him, and personal debts, it all backfired. When he filed for bankruptcy in 2009, he owed millions to his ex-wife, multiple banks, and former teammates. Kosar was down nearly $20 million. Number 4. Clinton Portis. Just 2 decades ago, Portis was one of the top running backs, making NFL history and carrying the Washington's offense every Sunday. He became the highest paid back in 2004 with a $50.5 million deal. Years of prolific spending on luxury items and more than $400,000 in domestic support put Portis on the brink of financial ruin. Yet it was financial managers who nearly drove him to commit murder. Portis shared with Sports Illustrated how a few of his financial advisors defrauded him out of millions. Fortunately, he backed away from taking revenge. Sadly, the 38-year-old is now facing charges of healthcare fraud, along with several other former NFL players, for fraudulent use of the NFL's Gene Upshaw NFL Player Health Reimbursement Plan. Number 3. Michael Vick. At the peak of his NFL career, there were few athletes more beloved or popular than Vick. He was one of the highest paid athletes in sports after signing a $130 million contract in 2004. Then, everything fell apart when he was arrested for his role in a dogfighting ring. Vick filed for bankruptcy while in Leavenworth, revealing that he owed tens of millions of dollars in debt. Making it out of that financial hold seemed impossible, especially with no shot at endorsement money and only a small NFL contract. Yet, he pulled off what many believed would be impossible. Vick reimbursed his creditors in 2017. and now works for Fox Sports. He's also making an impact through various charities and volunteer work. Number 2. John Elway. Unlike some former players, John Elway has done pretty well for himself after retiring from the NFL. He's worth an estimated $145 million, in part because of his lucrative investments in car dealerships and other businesses. Yet the former Bronco isn't immune to financial foibles. In 2010, it was revealed Elway was one of the dozens of people who had sunk millions into a Ponzi scheme. He invested $15 million and lost at least $7 million. ABC News reported. The loss is even more galling when you consider the golden investment opportunity Elway passed on a few years earlier. In 1998, he said no when the Broncos owner, Pat Bowlen, offered to sell him a 10% stake in the team for $15 million, plus another 10% in exchange for forgoing the deferred salary he was owed. By 2015, that 20% stake would have been worth about $388 million. Number 1. Bernie Kosar. Former quarterback Bernie Kosar was a fan favorite during his years with the Cleveland Browns, but he has struggled financially and personally since his retirement in 1996. His money trouble came on top of painful injuries, reported brain trauma from the many concussions he suffered while playing, and rumors of a drinking problem. While he had success with a number of business ventures after retirement, his overall finances were shaky. An expensive divorce only made matters worse, and he filed for bankruptcy in 2009. Ironically, Kosar has an undergraduate degree in finance and economics, but that doesn't seem to have been of much use in the real world. I'm great at making money, and as we found out, I'm great at spending it. What I'm not great at is managing it, he told Pittsburgh Post-Gazette in 2009. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.